My only job was to not ask questions. Now I have to watch what happens to the customers. The last check was for $92,000, and I haven't sold a single fucking thing. I should start at the beginning. 4 months of job searching after retail finally chewed me up and spat me out. You know the grind. Soul-deadening, fluorescent-lit purgatory. I sent out hundreds of resumes, desperate for anything that wasn't folding shirts or asking someone if they'd found everything okay. Nothing. Not a single call back. The savings account was getting thin, and so was my patience. One night, I just had to get out. I drove. No destination, just moving. My town is small, wedged between thick state forests. I took the highway north, towards the county line, watching the last of the strip malls give way to dark walls of pine trees. About 40 minutes out, where the road gets lonely, I saw it. A turnoff. I'd driven this road 1,000 times, and it was never there before. No sign, no painted lines, just a strip of fresh, black asphalt that disappeared into the woods. It looked like a wound in the side of the road. Curiosity, or maybe just sheer boredom, made me turn the wheel. The air got cold the second I was off the main road. The trees grew over the lane, their branches tangling together to form a suffocating tunnel. My headlights cut a pathetic little cone in the dark. The hair on my arm stood up. Every instinct screamed at me to turn around, but what was I going back to? An empty apartment and another rejection email. Fuck it. I kept going. The road twisted for what felt like miles. Then, the trees just stopped. They opened up into a clearing, and there it was. A car lot, dropped in the absolute middle of nowhere. Bright neon signs buzzed and hissed, casting a sickly pink and green glow on the gravel. Balloons tied to a fence post bobbed in the dead air. One of those inflatable tube men, the ones with the crazy arms, was jerking and convulsing, powered by a generator I couldn't hear. Sterling's Select Autos. Perfectly normal, except for 2 things. The oppressive, dead silence of the forest all around it, and the fact that there were no cars on the lot, not one. I pulled my old Civic into the empty lot, the gravel crunching under my tires like bones. The office was a small, prefab building, its windows lit from within. I was just about to do a 3-point turn and get the hell out of there when I saw the sign taped to the front door. A piece of printer paper. The words, "Help Wanted," printed in thick black marker. Before I could even process it, a man was standing right next to my car. I didn't see him walk out of the office. I didn't hear a thing. He was just there, tall and thin, dressed in a suit that looked a little too tight at the shoulders. His dark hair was slicked back with something that made it shine in the neon glare. I jumped so hard I hit my head on the roof. He tapped on my window with one long finger. I rolled it down, my heart hammering against my ribs. "A bit lost, are we?" he asked. His voice was smooth, like old whiskey, but it didn't sound friendly. His smile was all teeth. Yeah, sorry," I stammered, my eyes darting from his face to the sign on the door. I saw the sign, looking for work. His smile widened. It didn't reach his eyes. Fortune favors the bold traveler. "My name is Mr. Sterling. I am the proprietor, and as it happens, I am in need of a salesman. Please, come inside." I don't know why I did. Maybe it was desperation, maybe it was the strange, compelling way he spoke. 10 minutes later, I was sitting in his office. He offered me a salary of $65,000 a year just to show up. On top of that, 50% commission on any sale. 50%. In the car business, that's a goddamn myth. I asked what the catch was. He told me the cars and the customers would come on their own. My only job was to be here. I wish I had run. I wish I had peeled out of that gravel lot and never looked back. But I was broke and tired, and he slid an employment contract across the desk. I signed it. He told me to go home and come back the following Monday. He said my salary started immediately. And it did. The next morning, a direct deposit hit my account. It was the first good night's sleep I'd had in months. The first month was a dream. I'd show up at 9, unlock the office, and sit in my own personal little space across the hall from his. I never saw him arrive. He was just always there, behind his closed door. I played games on my phone. I read books. I went home at 5. No cars. No customers. At the end of the week, I got a paycheck. At the end of the month, a check for 65 grand showed up in my account. Taped to it was a note in perfect cursive. Do not ask questions. Your role is to be present. Fine by me. Then, on the last day of that first month, a car finally pulled in. A brand new Mercedes, the kind that costs more than my apartment building. It crunched to a stop in the gravel lot. A woman got out. She looked normal enough, maybe a little tired. I stood up, ready to finally do my job, when the door to Mr. Sterling's office opened. He stepped out and put a hand on my shoulder, his grip surprisingly strong. "You've done wonderfully, Cos," he said, his voice a low hum. "Why don't you head home for the day? Your commission is on your desk." He walked out to meet the woman. I didn't hear what they said. I didn't see any money change hands. She just handed him her keys and a small folded piece of paper. Then she turned and started walking, not to a waiting cab, not to a friend. She just walked down that long dark road and disappeared back into the trees. I looked at my desk. There was a check for $75,000. Commission. I shut my mouth, grabbed the check, and left. The next morning, the Mercedes was parked neatly in the front row, a price tag hanging from its rearview mirror. That was 6 months ago. The pattern held. A few times a month, a car would arrive. Always something nice, always late in the day. The driver would get out, hand Mr. Sterling the keys and a folded piece of paper, and then walk into the forest. I never spoke to a single one. I would just find a massive check on my desk and go home. My bank account swelled. I bought a new car, a real one, from a normal dealership. But I never saw Mr. Sterling leave his office. He was just always there. The cars on the lot were never sold. They just accumulated. And the town got quieter. I started noticing it about a month ago. People I knew, faces I'd see at the grocery store or the post office, they just weren't around anymore. The parking lot seemed emptier. The roads, less congested. At the same time, business at Sterling Select Autos exploded. It went from a few cars a month to 15 or 20 a day. The lot filled up. The silence out here wasn't peaceful anymore. It was heavy. It felt like the whole world was holding its breath. 3 days ago, I showed up to work and I couldn't even pull in. The lot was a chaotic maze of vehicles, parked bumper to bumper. In the back, a huge piece of machinery, a car crusher, was stacking the vehicles on top of each other. Squealing metal, shattering glass. They were being turned into multicolored blocks of junk. That was it. The dam broke. All the questions I'd been swallowing for months came roaring up. I stormed into the office and banged on Mr. Sterling's door. "What the hell is going on? How are we supposed to sell crushed cars?" On the third knock, the door swung inward on its own. I looked inside. There was no desk, no chair, no Mr. Sterling. The room was a black void. It didn't look empty. It looked like a hole in reality that was drinking the light from the hallway. I backed away slowly. I turned around. And Mr. Sterling was sitting in my chair at my desk, spinning a set of keys around his finger. I screamed. It was a raw, ugly sound. Then I started to laugh, a high, hysterical giggle. "I had such high hopes for you, Cos," he said. The smile was gone. His face was a cold, blank mask. "I give you comfort. I give you wealth. And I asked for one simple thing. But the cars, the people," I choked out, sinking into the visitor chair. I was shaking. His eyes went dark. "You broke the rule." He stood up and walked around the desk until he was standing over me. "You wanted to be a salesman. You wanted to know about the sale. So, you've been promoted. Consider it your punishment." He told me what would happen. He told me that my job had changed. That was 3 days ago. I've been sitting here ever since, the lights off, just watching the entrance to that long, dark road. Sleep doesn't come. Food tastes like cardboard. Every creak of the building makes me jump out of my skin. Shit. A pair of headlights just cut through the trees. A car is turning in. The door to Mr. Sterling's office just creaked open behind me. He said my new job is to meet the customer. He said I'm the one who takes the keys now. And the paper. I have to take the keys now.